Hi guys, this is Michael from the Boardgames Chronicle. Today, in my continued series of the Cuba Libre strategic materials, I will be telling you a little more about one of its main factions about the government. In general, Cuba Libre is the second volume in coin series by Folko Runke, very interesting asymmetric conflict. What I'm doing in those materials, bringing to you the details of how to play in the first video, which you can see in a link down below. This also at the end of this video, you have all the rules of the game explained by me, the mechanics, victory conditions, things like that. What I'm trying to do now is go through each and every faction in this game. We have 4 of them: government, syndicate, here of insurgents, 26 July forces, and directorio, and explain to you the specifics of each and every of those factions. We'll tell a little about the background of the faction, about its commands and specials, which you have in a pretty nicely created player aid. We'll talk about the victory conditions. We'll talk a little about special rules which pertain to each and every of the factions. A little about strategic considerations, so how to play to win, and also a look at most prominent events, because each faction has some interesting events you need to be aware of when playing. Okay, so without further delay, let us start. Government. What does it show? This is actually the government of Fulgencio Batista. He was presiding over a really rich country. Cuba was a rich country, and he, at one hand, was in kind of an alliance with the syndicate, so with mafia, let's be honest, mafia, which was having a lot of casinos in Cuba and laundering the money, and that way also financing the government secret police. On the other hand, they had the alliance with US, which is shown here, and US was investing more and more in Batista regime to keep it stable and, of course, to push the communists away. At some point in time, as with every dictator, he went too greedy, he wanted too much, he actually started to alienate his people, so US decided maybe we should let him go. So this is where we are at the beginning of this game. This is 1957. It's still time when government is pretty strong. They have a lot of troops, a lot of police, a lot of influence, and they should really strike hard at the beginning in order to win. So that's the historical background. Now let us have a look at commands and specials, so the key of each and every coin series game. As you remember, the factions can in return take the operation and special activity or event, and then based on this, the second in eligibility order will have already predetermined choice. So let's have a look. Here, this foldout will be a guide for us to go through all those operations. I hope you can see it, and I will be trying to demonstrate also on the map. So first and foremost, we have a train operation for government. Purpose is pretty obvious, as in a majority of coin games. We train the forces. We build the forces, but also we build the support, because as you can see, we have always the control and the support dimension for those parameters connected to provinces. How does it work? First and foremost, you can do it in any province or city. You cannot do it in the economic centers, economic zones. These are economic zones 1, 2, and the third over there. So what we do, we pay the resources per space, and how much we pay depends on where we are with the US alliance. The better the alliance, the less we pay. It will be discussed later on as one of the specifics of the government. And exactly, the better alliance, the less we pay. And at each selected city or government space, because only there you can train, you can place up to 4 cubes. This could be either the troops or police. The troops are dark blue, the police are light blue. You need both types of units. You will see in a moment why. And of course, they are efficient in various areas differently. The police is as valuable as troops in cities, but outside cities, of course, they do not have such good standing against the rebels. What is more, we can, after adding those 4 cubes to each and every space, in maximum one selected space, replace two cubes with a base. Example, how we can play the train, it will be like this. Let us train some troops in Las Villas. Let us add 3 more troops. Let us pay 2 resources. And then let us, in this selected space, replace 2 cubes with 1 government base. Here it is. Okay, that way we establish ourselves really nicely in Las Villas, but that's not everything. We actually could add 1 police here too. We could add 4, and you will see why the police is needed. So we could add 3 cubes of troops and 1 cube of police. Now the last thing, because the train also allows us to build support, is that we can buy a civic action. What is a civic action? This is a special action which is being used by the government to build support. You simply can build support in the spaces where you have, if I remember correctly, both troops and police. Yeah. And how much do we spend? Every 4 resources will remove either 1 terror, or once there is no terror in a space, it will shift the support level 1 towards active support. So what we can do, we can, for example, buy the support here. So we will pay another 4 to 9. And we will have active support. Just let me, not active support because it's only 1. Yeah, so this is passive support. But what is good is that our total support now jumps to 18. So this is example of a play of the government of a train action. We spent a lot of resources, but we established ourselves really nicely in Las Villas. We have a base there, so we will not need to redeploy troops to cities at the end of the turn. We have support growing, and we have also the police there, which could be important in some other actions too. Okay, that's all for the train. Pretty powerful operation. It can only go with transport. We'll talk about transport in a moment. Garrison. Garrison protects economic centers and allows for the redeployment across the cities. We have 3 cities, yeah? 1, 2, 3 cities, and we have 3 economic zones, 1, 2, and 3rd here. Yep. So this operation, the cost again, as per US alliance, 2 to 4 resources in total, not per space because it's only in total. And we can move any cubes to any economic centers or cities. In each economic center, so those 3, we can activate 1 guerrilla for each cube there. And if desired, we can conduct a free assault in 1 economic city. Again, it might seem a complicated action because it allows at least 3 things to do, but in essence, you move any cubes to any economic centers or cities, and or between them, of course. So we can, for example, move some forces from here to here, from here to here. It depends where we have the insurgents. Should we have, for example, such situation that we have here 26th of July, executing garrison, will mean that, for example, we are sending 2 troops, 1 police here. Yep, we move to this economic center. We activate 1 guerrilla, because we can activate 1 guerrilla for each cube. We could even activate 3 guerrillas. And then we can free assault. Believe me, I will not be going into details. We would simply get rid of this guerrilla and would preserve the resources from this economical center for the end of the turn, when government is actually gathering the resources from this. Then we have sweep, pretty often used in the coin games. Even I think the name of this operation is pretty often used like this. Sweep allows to enter the area, locate an enemy, and gain control. So it's from any cities or provinces. So remember, garrison allows you to protect the economical centers. Sweep does not. Sweep, it's in cities or provinces. Cost again, as per US alliance, from 2 to 4. Yeah. And then how does it exactly work? So we move any troops only, into adjacent selected spaces. Then we activate 1 guerrilla for each cube. In the forest, we activate 1 guerrilla for every 2 cubes. We have forest here, so this is Pinar del Rio has forest. Yeah, and 2 more provinces over there. So sweep allows us simply to find the insurgents, and we can show the example of sweep here. We'll put 2 troops here, and because this is a forest for each 2 cubes, we can discover one guerrilla, and of course we pay another 2 because this is the alliance cost. Okay, now assault. Of course, a key action, especially in the government, because we would like to get rid of the insurgents. Assault allows you to eliminate enemy forces. It can be done in any spaces, economical centers. It can be done in the provinces or cities. We are going to pay per US alliance 2 to 4 resources. And procedure. In each space, we remove 1 active guerrilla or base for each troops cube. Bases go last. That's normal thing that the guerrilla is protecting the bases. The troops will also protect the bases. In cities or economical centers, we remove 1 piece for every cube. So that means that in cities or economical centers, also the police will add its strength to the battle. In mountains, we remove only 1 cube or piece of insurgents for every 2 troops, and we take any cash if removed. So let us show a couple of examples. How would it look like? Let us say that we have guys with cash here. This is a good example, and let us say this is such situation here. So if we have assault, we can do assault in those 2 spaces. We pay again 2 and 2, so this is 4 per space. Here, how the attack looks here, this is maybe let us move to the mountains so it's more difficult. So here we have 3 cubes. Because this is not a city, this cube does not count. Those 2 cubes will attack here, and we remove for every 2 troops 1 active insurgent. In this case, it will be let's say the muscle from the mafia, and we'll take the cash. Cash is a special nice addition in Cuba Libre. I haven't seen in other coins this, and this is I will discuss later on how it can be used. Very cool mechanic of getting additional operation. Now, if we talk about the attack here in Havana, the troops and police will count. So we have like 7 cubes, and because this is city, for every cube we remove 1 enemy. We have 2 enemies. They both go here. Yeah. So this is how the assault would work. Now, almost each and every operation can be very nicely augmented by the special activities. And the special activities are exactly what makes some powerful combos. And we'll be looking at this now. First and foremost, pretty obvious, we have transport. As you were going with me through the operations, you can see that each and every of them allows only for the moves to the provinces to the nearby province. The garrison allows you to relocate between cities and economical centers. Fine, but in order to get to the deep province, you really need transport. And transport allows you to mass troops quickly for an operation. It can accompany any operation. It can be from any location, and we move up to 3 troops from a city or base to any one space. This is a very good combo with assault, of course, transport and assault, because you can move your troops from the city and attack. Let us say that we have such situation, that we have one of those guys here. There is no easy way to get to this province other than with transport and assault. So we can transport 2 of those guys here, and then we can immediately assault. I specifically put those guys, of course, already discovered because I wanted them to be able to be attacked here. So in such case, transport and assault will play nice. Airstrike, another brutal method of fighting with insurgents. Purpose: destroy exposed insurgents units. So in this case, this can accompany garrison, sweep, or assault. Really nice, because with sweep you can get to the insurgents, and then with airstrike you can kill them. Location: any one province or economic center. Important: you cannot do airstrike in cities. Not here, not here, not here. This is self-explanatory. You don't bomb the cities. You can bomb, of course, the provinces or the economical centers, but not the cities. Very, very important. And this is maximum 1 space. And we remove any one active guerrilla or base. Base is last, of course. And if we are embargoed, so our operations cost 4, we cannot use it because those planes actually came from US. So, you know, if we are embargoed, we would not have such weaponry at all. Okay. Now, this is airstrike, and then we have reprisal. It reduces opposition, displaces guerrillas, also maximum 1 space, accompanying operation garrison, sweep, assault. It has to be in government-controlled spaces, and it allows you to add a terror marker to the selected space and shift opposition 1 level toward neutral. We relocate 1 guerrilla from there to an adjacent space. Not often used, I would say. Sometimes, yes, true. How it can look like. For example, we can do the sweep and reprisal here, move here with a sweep, of course. Discover those guys, but what's even more important, take down the active oppose to passive oppose and put the terror marker, which blocks the changes here to the support. Before you can do anything with the support, either increase it or decrease it, you have to first remove the terror marker. And we can, of course, relocate 1 guerrilla from there to adjacent space. Possibly we can push them here. They do not output number as yet here. It's very dangerous to have more guerrillas than police in cities. You will see later on. And this will be all operations and special activities. I think we are now ready to jump further with our story about the government. Now, let's talk about the victory conditions. We have them, of course, nicely stipulated in the player aid, government, all cities at active support, and total support exceeds 18. How does it look like on the map? So we have 3 cities, Havana, and those 2 in the south of Colombia. At this moment in time, the government is indeed controlling them. Now, in order to get enough support to win, we need to have 19 or more. The cities will give you, Havana gives 12, this is 14, this is 16. So you will get 16 points simply from those 3 cities. And probably adding to this Las Villas, if for example we manage to push it towards active support, should do the trick, because then it will be 20. Yes, if I'm not calculating in wrong. So this is a way for the government to win. Keep your cities and control at least one of the provinces, and that way you will gain your victory. Okay, that's all for that part. Let's jump to the next. Let's talk about the special rules for government. So, there are a couple of tricks you need to remember about the government, and a couple of things which are unique to the government. First and foremost, this is the US alliance. Unlike other factions in this game, the cost of the operation for the government will vary, and it will be from 2 to 4 resources. 2 resources is very reasonable, of course, value, but 4 could be overkill. How does this alliance change? At the end of each round, each support phase during the propaganda round, so support phase is here, yeah, we check if support is 18 or less for the government. So that means people do not like Batista. We shift down 1. That means that the next turn, our cost of our operations will be higher. So US alliance is the first very important special rule. Second special rule is how the government is getting the resources. So the government has, in essence, 2 ways of getting the resources: internal and external one. The internal one is based on the economical centers. So here we have 3, 3, and 2. So this is simply the local industry in Cuba, out of which the government can get the resources. So this is it. So economic value maximum 8, and the second source of resources is of course from the alliance. At the beginning of the game, the so-called aid, you can also find it, for example, in Fire in the Lake and in other installments of the game. The aid are the resources which we get from external, and as you can see, these are huge resources. If you look at the total economy, it's like 8, and 15 from US is almost twice as much. However, if you deteriorate in your alliance and you jump down, also the 8 goes 10 down, a huge setback. So that is why government is the strongest at the beginning of the game, and then it's a slow but steady downturn in the power of this faction. So really, at the beginning, you should hit hard with the government, definitely. Okay, what else? Resources, alliance, aid. I think these are the most critical special areas of the government. Yep, I think that will be it. We can move to the next point. The next point will be the notable events. I prepared 4 events for you to analyze with me now for government. First of them is coup. In general, all events which are getting rid of Batista, either by coup or moving him from the country, are the events you would like to control as government. So it's good that government is first. What do we see here? First of all, Batista outset means that you shift all government control spaces one level toward neutral and US alliance up one box. In dramatic situations when your alliance is embargoed, it might still be a good idea, although you would be losing the points for the support in the cities. Second part is activate and free assault all directorial pieces in cities with cubes, US alliance down one box. That allows you to really get rid of the directory from the cities, but on the other hand, your alliance will go down. So really, this is one of the nastiest events, but you want to control it. You want really to get hold of it. Second event, which is connected to Batista, is Batista flees. What we see here is only one option: U.S. forces dictator out. So government resources -10. Well, it's a pity. Select and remove a die roll of troops. Also a pity. But then, US alliance, one box up and 8 plus 10. Government redeploys as in propaganda round. That's not so bad as it seems. I would even go for this, especially in the later part of the game. Your resources can be at 0. You will not be able to remove them. So, but you will get a lot of aid. Of course, it's not good event in the last turn because you will not reap the benefits of the aid. But if you are in such a dramatic situation, but you're embargoed, you have 8-0, probably already, and you have minimal number of resources, let it be free. So if you play this, so you will get 0 resources, but then, first of all, you will get here and here. So next turn you will get at least 10 resources and your operations will be cheaper. Another event which I can recommend and would like you to be aware of is General Strike. Especially this set a city to active support and activate all guerrillas there, open any one closed casino. This is cool because it saves you like four resources, which you usually have to do with a civil action, and it can even save you more resources if, for example, the situation in the city is very dire. So should we have such situation, we immediately put the active support here in Havana and get 12 victory points. So of course, if you have active support in all of your countries, cities, that's not such a big deal. However, if you have already much lower support, that would help you. And the last event I would like to draw your attention to is Eulogio Cantillo, especially this. Select a province or city with troops. They free swap in place and then free assault. You cannot move your troops, but wherever you are, you can get to the insurgents and you can get rid of them. I would like also, when talking about events, tell you about one special type of events which other factions does not have. These are the momentum events. These are the events which are special abilities which are active till the end, till the propaganda round. So it's not through the whole game, but till next propaganda. For example, paramilitaries will give the government till the end of next propaganda sweep. May free assault one space as if it's special activity until propaganda. It's pretty cool. Because after the sweep, immediate attack before the insurgents hide or relocate is something you would like to have. But it's only till the next propaganda. Okay, I think that will be all about the events. Let us now jump to the summary and strategic considerations. Okay, so this is it. This is the government, so the Batista government. I showed you how to operate with it. Couple of things for your plays. As I said, first and foremost, hit hard at the beginning, where your alliance is at the top with the US, where when your operations are pretty cheap and when you are the strongest. You need all three cities under your control in order to be able to win, and also you need to take care of your support. If your support is more than 19 and more, you win them. I suggest focusing on cities and one or two provinces. This seems like a great province to focus on because you start with the troops here, you can build a base, you can put the support and get 4 victory points from here. Definitely try to ally yourself with the cartels, as it was historically. They want their casinos to be protected by your troops. Definitely something good for them. On the other hand, uh, do not shy away of attacking each and every, let's say, opponent which stands in your way. While economic centers give you 8 resources, the 15 from 8, it starts here, yeah, I believe, is really critical. So alliance, support of the people is where you would like to focus on. Remember also about those beautiful events which getting rid of Batista and shake your government, so you need to be also aware of this. Would you be able to play in a way that it will stop the insurgents and change the history? I hope so. So keeping fingers crossed for this. That's all for today. Second material in the strategic series for Cuba Libre. Hopefully you like it. If so, please give thumbs up. There will be more about our three factions. I would like to thank you for staying today with me. Kindly please subscribe if you'd like to see more content like that. And please use the comment section below this video to ask any questions, do any remarks, or simply discuss this fantastic game. Thank you very much for today, and bye.